Big flavor, zero prep. Hatfield marinated pork tenderloins and pork loin fillets are pre-marinated and ready to cook. With flavors like honey garlic teriyaki, savory brown sugar, and Tuscan herb, dinner is deliciously easy. Visit simplyhatfield.com. Hatfield, better care, better pork.
Brews and Banter.
Hi, Frank.
Hey, Rowan, how are you?
And hello to Angel and Kelly.
Hey, thanks for having us.
Absolutely. I'm glad you're drinking beer. You have,
Yeah.
do you want a glass? Are you okay with the okay.
Yeah.
All right. He's like, glass.
That's all. Yeah. That starts there, right? I mean, we have water at one point too, except beer now. Right?
Kelly, you're drinking Yuengling. Is that one of your favorite beers, or?
Actually, it's a beer from my home state, so I know the name really well. So.
Yeah.
Where are you from? So introduce yourself. Tell
Wait,
us.
but you don't know where she's from if it's from her home state?
What?
You don't know where Yuengling is?
Pennsylvania?
Yeah.
Right. That's what I said.
Is that where your home state is?
Right. And I said, introduce yourself.
You said ask her where she's from. What's your home state, you said?
Right. But then we know the state, but not the town she's from.
Well, okay.
You know what? These are the ballbusters. Oh, yes. It's okay. Go ahead, Kelly. Sorry.
It happens when you work together.
Yeah. He's like, my wife calls him my
Podcast, huh?
work wife. My work wife. Go ahead. Sorry.
So yeah, I'm Kelly Davenport. I work around Bowling for Autism. I started it back in 2012 when I would live in Pennsylvania. I did not grow up in the same town as Yuengling was from, but it was a fun fact to learn about. But yeah, I thought it was kind of neat that I would work.
And one of the oldest breweries,
Yeah.
right?
Well, the oldest craft brewery, yeah. Because Anchor Brewery shut down.
Right.
So that's it.
Yeah. So that's actually a fact I didn't know until I was older. I was like, oh, hey, that's one of the beers my dad used to like a lot. So.
Yeah.
Well, you should be drinking beer when you're a kid, right? So you.
Yeah, well, yeah.
That's a fine.
I hope not.
Maybe
We've done.
I think I do this Angel World, but that's like
I used to put it in syrup, by the way, so.
Put it in beer and
Yeah, can you have like chocolate beer when you're done? It was because it was Cocoa Puffs. What? Yeah, it was Cocoa Pebbles.
no way to do it.
I'd put beer in my Cocoa Pebbles, then it'd be like chocolate flavored beer. I think I told you this, and I probably didn't. He doesn't remember shit, so.
Yeah, it's short-term memory loss. It happened.
So let's talk about Bowling for Autism, right?
Yeah. So it's an organization I started in honor of my brother, Sean, who's on the spectrum. And it was something that I wanted to do to give back to the community. And I thought, hey, what better way is that? Sean and I always been really close. And I was like, he really loves bowling. So I approached our local bowling alley and I said, hey, I have this idea to give back to the community in honor of Sean and everything. And they were right on board. So ever since then, we started out. Started out really small, but did okay. First one, got the word out, started expanding year to year. And now this year is going to be our 50th event with Pennsylvania. And I recently started a New York branch in 2023. So it's really exciting to see it growing like that.
So you've got, they're separate events.
Yeah.
Obviously, but they're separate times. They're not the same weekend.
No.
You've got to be at both, or do you plan to be at both?
I do have to be I'm pretty much the ICU's planning everything behind it, and I have people to help the day of, but
Until you get an angel involved, right?
yeah. And Angel's gotten up as our teenager and said, you know what? I want to help more, so sure.
And it's a nonprofit organization.
Yeah.
You guys get donations.
Yeah, I run sponsorships. We do raffles. I also sell EFA merchandise and autism-related things, and all that money goes towards local recipients who support special needs individuals. So my emphasis is on local. I want to make sure it gets to the local community, and everything we bring in, we go right back out to them.
That's nice, because sometimes when you donate to, nonprofit, you don't know where the money is going.
Yeah.
And it's nice that you bring receive donations from locals, right?
Yeah.
And then it goes back to the local community, right, that need it. And you said autism, and then you mentioned spectrum. So autism is a diagnosis, and spectrum is a level of the diagnosis?
So they started naming it the spectrum disorder because there's a lot of similarities, but there's also so many different aspects that make them on a similar diagnosis. But there's a saying that goes, when you meet one person with autism, you meet one person with autism. Because even though there's a lot of similar characteristics, everybody's completely different and individualized and has different needs and specifics.
And spectrum could be, so if you say someone's on the spectrum, is not necessarily mean they're autistic, or spectrum is like, so if someone has certain, let's say, for example, I like to like tap on the tape, whatever. Like, does that put me on this? Yeah, like, does that put me on the spectrum, or is that like a level of autism? Do you know the difference?
Not necessarily on the spectrum. So to be considered autistic per se, it's an official diagnosis, but there's also an aspect called autistic tendencies, where they might recognize it as similar aspects to, say, ADHD or another learning disability, but they're also exhibiting similar behaviors as an autistic person would do. So it's a kind of a yes and no question, but it's kind of how it breaks it down a little bit. But then on the spectrum itself, you also have things like Asperger's, which is still a form of autism, but it's its own diagnosis under that spectrum. So it really depends on severity as well, because there's lower functioning that have a lot more mental needs or physical needs. And then there's higher functioning where some of them grow to live up on their own, or they go to like a group home and just need someone to check in on them once in a while. It really depends on the range of needs and what their ability is.
So someone with autism can be self-dependent and can live a life to take care of things on their own. So it all depends on severe, like a level, right?
Like in my brother's case, for instance, he's considered high functioning, but he will never live on his own completely. He doesn't know how to drive. He doesn't, like, he'll help with cooking and stuff, but he doesn't, be completely solely manned for certain tasks. He has a job coach with him, but they're mostly there to just keep him focused and keep him like, hey, here's your job and everything, and take him out in the community. But some high functioning adults will, grow up to that, but he will always need some assistance of some kind throughout his life.
Does he like doing the activities like cooking?
Yeah.
Or what's his favorite?
Oh my gosh. I don't know, Angela, what would you say? No,
Like, what gets him excited?
Well, actually, ironically, you say that because he's always talking about getting a beer and he's 21, but he always goes to the root beer.
Yeah.
I'll go get drunk of that root
Safer,
beer.
yeah, right.
But, jeez. He loves just being busy. He loves with everything with like yard work, the home parents mow the lawn. He's involved in Special Olympics, so he's always doing those activities. He goes to the YMCA. He loves going out with us when we had the chance to get flyers out. We just recently did the St. Patrick's Day parade in Syracuse. It was our first year in it, and he came out and he was helping us hand out the little goodie bags we made. And so he just loves being busy. And if you get home after being gone all day, he just wants to go. Because he's just like, I want to go. Right. Like, I'm excited.
Yeah, nice.
So he'll help with anything, and he's pretty much interested in.
So at what age did you? Who's older, him or you?
I am.
What age did you guys find out he had autism?
He was diagnosed at 18 months.
At 18 months.
Is it a blood test?
I think sometimes it is, but I don't know what it was when he actually got diagnosed because I was young enough.
Yeah.
But I know now they go through. They do different sessions with individuals. They have, I forget what the scale is called, but it's some kind of thing. They go through questions. The family fills them out.
Okay.
But then they also sit individually with the person who is possibly on the spectrum. And they also monitor them over multiple sessions to see like how they react in certain situations, or they'll have them do a task while they're talking to them about something. So they're gauging where they would fall, and they get the scale that's supposed to determine like what kind of level to be involved. And sometimes it's just tendencies and it's actually related more closely to a different diagnosis. But other times it's right on the spectrum and they get that diagnosis.
No, does earlier diagnosis help in any way?
Yeah.
I don't know if it affected it or not.
Earlier does help because unfortunately there are a lot more, well, good and bad. There's a lot more services available when they're younger, and the quicker you get it, the sooner you can get those services. But as they get older into even late teens to adulthood, services for some reason become harder and harder to get.
Yeah.
So that's unfortunately the downside, because then you're fighting with a lot more. And then you have adults who were never diagnosed before. So you're also fighting with like new ones and trying to get in. And there are places that we look into that would take over a year just to even see if there's a diagnosis.
Mm-hmm.
So it's an unfortunate aspect, but it's almost like a notion they think you get older and it goes away, and it doesn't. most of them are going to have some form of these abilities their whole life.
And the challenges associated with it. Yeah.
Exactly. And they need to adapt to their needs and not the other way around.
Yep.
What helps when you get help to work with someone who has autism? Do they improve a specific skill that helps them function better and that where they progress with autism? Or there's no like fixing certain not I don't say fixing, but like improving certain aspects of disability. And you always need someone. Like what helps? Like is there that aspect of getting sufficient in the task, or there isn't one and you just always need help?
It's a little bit of both. I've also, like, all my personal experience with Sean and going to his groups and everything. I've also had jobs in that type of setting with special needs individuals. And whether it was a day hab or a group home or in Special Olympics, they usually have some kind of goal in mind and they work on those specific traits that, especially if they're struggling a lot, they want to find something that is what's the word? More easily attained, I guess, so they can focus on the what would be considered easier task. And as they get a grasp on that, they can go into a slightly more difficult task and like just keep focusing on these goals. Some of them are as simple as growing to be more independent, being able to go out and look for a job, or talking to people about getting their own apartment or things like that. And sometimes it's just, hey, help me with my math skills or reading and stuff. So it's person to person based, of course. And it's, a mixture of goals with some things that it's just always going to be a struggle. So we just adapt to that. Or they'll take out certain goals to be like, okay, well, this one's being pretty well done. So we'll help that. But then we'll also check in on it to make sure they haven't forgotten it.
Mm-hmm. But I want to go to the beginning of your brother's diagnosis and want to ask you, what was it like when you guys first diagnosed the problem and growing up the brother who has autism? I mean, I grew up with brothers who were just jerks to me. Yeah. We always fought.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I don't know what it's like. Every family is like that.
Yeah, I was the child.
So am I.
Yeah, we've always fought, but now we're good.
You're in the middle? You're in the middle child?
It's weird. It's four.
It's like 20. Oh, yeah. 20.
So I'm like second out of four.
Like middle and a half.
Yeah. But in your case, how was it like growing up? Did you ever feel like always getting the most attention, or were you like
understanding,
involved? Like what was it like? Like what did like?
So I remember like certain aspects of growing up and different things like that. I don't remember my entire experience, but I'm sure I had moments where I was just like, what's going on? Like, why is he away from this? But I was trying to be more understanding. He was, compared to where he is now, he was in I don't want to say worse in the sense of like, he was lower functioning per se, but he's worked through a lot more of his aspects. So he's gotten a pain of better like temperament and focus and stuff. But I remember there were times where he was just, I call him a little shit brother because he was always bugging me and everything. And sometimes it was just.
I was gonna say that relationship doesn't go away.
Everybody has it.
So it was like, on some aspect, it was okay. Now that's just my only little brother. But I also tried to understand that part of it was probably coming from, some of the behavior aspects that come along with it. I mean, we had those old hooks that you had to like turn into the door, and they're like these metal like rectangle type things.
Ring?
That one, but they had like the two bent ends, and it was almost like a ribbon. And you had to like slide it over.
Yeah.
Well, he managed to want to get to my room so badly one time that he actually pushed through the door so hard it bent it. I could never lock my door again. Like he was just, I'm gonna be with my sister and everything. So
see, goal oriented, right?
Yeah, there's definitely not a goal there. But I don't think he was doing it to be, an asshole or anything. But I think that he was just acting out, and that's how he dealt with stuff. And yeah, in that moment, it was definitely very hard, frustrating. And I remember going to 2 hours away for meetings with my parents just to see a doctor, and going round and round all different places. And so I've always been very close with him. I always tried to play with him a lot more. I think that's what helped it. And it's nothing to say that my older sister didn't. It's just that I think she handled it differently. So he picked up on part of that and kind of drew to me more. So then he and I just got that extra bond, and they have a pretty good bond too.
What's the age difference between you and him?
Just under 6 years.
Okay, yeah. So close enough, right? 'Cause,
Yeah.
We're like 15 years apart, right?
I don't know. I think you're making me look older.
You tell. My beard wasn't gray until we started this thing.
Yeah, you see the gray hairs from kids now.
Yeah,
So.
he's younger.
I also say that's wisdom.
Right.
If you see someone with gray hair, they're pretty smart.
Yeah, see, there you go. So
Tell that you're your sister.
look at all this wisdom right here. So what are some common misconceptions, I guess, about people that have been diagnosed with autism? Right? Like what do you hear that people say that isn't necessarily true?
One of the biggest ones I've heard throughout my entire life is, well, you need to take better care of them. They need better discipline. Okay, you come over here and try to help my child, or you see me going over there trying to tell you how to be a parent.
Right.
That's a lot of people like to, they talk a lot when they don't know firsthand.
That's right. Yeah.
And I think a lot of issues need to be like a more willingness to understand and know that everyone's not the same, and they need to be accepted just like the rest of us. And that's also why special needs has been so important to me, because I've seen how the outward society can treat them. And that's probably one of the scariest things, as whether you're a parent, a sibling, or, an aunt, uncle, whoever close to you that's on the spectrum. One of the scariest things for us is what's going to happen when someone's gone or something happens to us.
Right.
Because we know what the outside world looks like to a lot of people. And as much acceptance and understanding as there is now, compared to 10 years ago even, there's still a lot more that could be.
But you think it's definitely improved over the last 10 years?
I think in sense.
I mean, for sure there's a way to go.
Yeah.
But it's not regressed.
Yeah. And another common thing I hear a lot is, well, that's acting like it's a disease or something that they need to be fixed. Like, they're not, right. And it's like.
And there is no fixing, there's no cure, right?
Yeah, exactly. And the way I always saw it with my brother, I said, you know what? It sucks that he has to deal with that societal fact of the outcomes of being autistic. But at the same time, it's part of what gives him the personality that I love as my brother. Like, that's him. That's who he is. That's how it's going to be. And we always joke around that he could take a goofball tour around the country because he's just like always social. And to see him like that now, it wasn't always like that.
Sure.
So you get to see that progression. And unless someone's truly lived it or has enough experience, even playing with Angel a couple times a week or something, you don't fully see how it is for them. But just having the patience to be willing to listen to them or spend time with them is going to be a start enough to help their day.
You got to be able to Google all around them, right?
Yeah.
I'm sure you're pretty good at that.
Uncle Sean are pretty good.
Every uncle?
Favorite uncle.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So you always got one of those two. You got a shithead little brother and a favorite uncle.
I want to be an uncle.
In your case, at least it's not the same person, right?
I like to be an uncle my nephew and nieces come to if they're in trouble. Like, I already tell my uncle and my dad. Because I can be like, should you kick his ass? Good.
Yeah, tell him all the things that you should do when you're younger, but you just don't because you're a parent.
Or something.
Like kick him in the nuts or something?
Dad's afraid to say because wife will, might do that. But come to your uncle, I'll tell you.
Yeah. Everybody's got one of those, right?
Yeah, exactly. What drove you to start this bowling for autism?
I said I got into, I want to say my early 20s. I was probably, actually no, I had just finished up with college. And I was like, I feel like I can do more than just going to an event with him and supporting him and other people at special events and things. And I thought, what better way I can help support special needs and do it in honor of him. And that's kind of how the bowling for autism thing came along. I do something that he's diagnosed with and something that he really loves. And I know a lot of people that love a good game of bowling. So it just kind of matched together. So the name just stuck. And 15 years later, we're celebrating our milestone and getting ready to celebrate our first big milestone in New York. So it's really cool.
So 15 years total.
Yeah.
With New York as well.
Yeah.
And what does he do in Special Olympics?
He does track, bocce ball, and bowling.
Oh, you can do bowling in Olympics?
Yeah.
Or is it just on Special Olympics?
It's the Special Olympics one, but they actually have their own like mini competitions and stuff. So they have their season throughout the year, and then they have a big like banquet thing and competition. They just have like this. It's kind of like a culmination of that season, and they'll just get to compete against all the regions and stuff. So that's just an extra fun day for them.
I mean, these are all. What was the third one? Track. So other than track, the other two are like drinking. Like bocce and bowling.
I play bocce, and I'm like, I still don't understand. What do you do? I was explaining. I'm like, okay, it's a ball. You try to hit the thing. Like, I don't even know. I'm like, do this to you, sir.
Yeah, but you can do it with one hand because you got a beer in the other, right? Yeah, track is a little different. Yeah, unless you're wearing a backpack with a little.
And if you see doubles, you just take another drink. If you see triples, it's in the middle one.
We'll probably have to put root beer in his, but I mean, he's old enough to drink that. He just doesn't really go to the actual beer realm.
Is bowling his favorite out of the three?
I would say so. Yeah, he's always looking forward to it. But then, it used to be the fall, and now they made it like a winter thing. So he pretty much goes from one right into each one, which is kind of nice. But then he has a break in between because he does, or actually around this time, he's getting ready to start track. And then in the late summer, they'll do bocce, and then after that, they'll do bowling. So it's
how is he? Is he a good bowler?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm a shit bowler. I'm terrible. Because I have zero patience, right? So I was like, I just want to get this ball down there. I want to hit him, and I want to get mad because I didn't hit him. Take
Your balls always end up in
Yeah, because I didn't take the time to focus on hitting him, right? But like, I'm just terrible. I don't know how you are. Like, same with golf. Like, I want to get there. I want to do it. If I don't do it enough to be good at it.
I think I'm okay with bowling. I can't do like fancy spins or anything, but I'll take those pins down.
But your brother can?
He can, yeah. He's actually gotten a turkey before, which I was like, oh my gosh. And last weekend after the parade, we actually went bowling for a little bit. And first round, he gets a strike right off the bat. I'm like,
yeah. What about this guy, right? Is he in New York or Pennsylvania?
He lives in Pennsylvania, but they're only a couple hours away, so it's easy.
Are you guys play? Are you competitive with each other?
Sometimes, but sometimes he's just so goofball-y. Like, he's like, I don't care. Like, sometimes
he doesn't touch you. Oh, that'd be. I would do that all day.
He just always does this funny things like, what's one of his chicks?
Yes,
so he's getting married. So he's probably had like 100-something wives in his twice.
He's got to move to Utah, right?
Mormon.
That's what my husband was just saying. He's like, well, I guess that means a Mormon girl.
Yeah. Marry the whole village.
I'm like, Sean, I'm your sister. You got to give me a chance to, get something to go to your wedding.
At least you have a sense of humor, so right?
Yeah, and coming up and singing Christmas songs when he and Angel get together. Forget it. Christmas songs all over the house in the middle of March or July.
There is Christmas in July, right?
Yeah.
Don't people do that?
Or, camp in August.
Christmas in July.
Yeah.
There's a Christmas in July.
I don't even know how it started, but I know that's a Christmas in July.
Maybe something to like a old calendar.
Maybe.
Or probably just a split it because it's like, 6 months in between.
My calendar.
Let's see what holiday's coming up. Instead of Happy Easter, it'll be
Christmas. Oh, that's his favorite.
He'll switch them around. It's going to be like, oh, Happy Halloween, and it's like January. He's just like, goofball. He goes through trends where now he does the I'm getting married a lot, where he used to be like, I'm Russian, or I'm Chinese. Like, he would say like random things, and I'm like, you are not Russian.
It'd be cool if he could have an accent too.
We do not have that in our genealogy. We have a lot, but not that one.
He can identify as a Russian.
Maybe.
So the money you raise, right, for this program, where does that go?
So now that I have both branches, Pennsylvania has their own recipient. That one's going to a therapeutic farm. And the one for New York is going to a Breakup Farm over in Phoenix, New York.
Okay.
They are therapeutic as well. They work with goats and donkeys. So everyone can come and play with them. They can also learn to brush them. They can feed them and just have a good time. And there's a thing about like a connection to animals and people where I know you have dogs. I mentioned you have dogs.
Dog better. Or an angel bed, like you're a fucking fan.
or goat.
Yeah, there's something about that calm with animals that even someone on the brink of getting ready to have like a meltdown could find that like there's like connection.
Yeah.
And places like that are awesome. So the one in Pennsylvania works with horses, and then this one works with goats and donkeys, and they get to help out. And What's cool about that too is that they don't just open their doors to special needs individuals. Anyone can come out and check it out, but they get a lot of groups that are spectrum related because they know that the therapy is important. And actually, one of their goals right now that we're helping them with is expanding on their ADA accessibility, so it's a little easier in their property to get wheelchairs and stuff across, as well as having like a separate place where they can bring lunches and have seats at tables and stuff.
So it's interesting because that those programs are pretty much available.
Yeah.
You just have to, get approved or apply for them. I mean, it's not such a challenge that you can't get it done. It's just more of an issue that you need to apply to get it done.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, those programs for the ADA accessibility are there. They're out there. Right. So
Yeah. And some of them, if you know how to get in contact with them, and they just have you show up. You might pay like a small fee or something, but usually it's a donation or depending on the type they run and everything. And some of them even come back and volunteer their donations too. So.
And in this place in Phoenix you mentioned, which farm is it?
Brain Hope Farm.
Okay. And then is it the same every year?
No. I actually have people apply. In the past for New York, I supported Families First, which is a group they're based out of Syracuse, but they help everybody in Central New York. They plan like social activities or visuals, like they'll go to the movies together as groups. They'll plan like evenings out or just stuff to have more of a social interaction.
Yep.
They also supply a support group online for families and parents, and people tell each other what's going on. Sure events. Excuse me. We've also supported the Baldwinsville Nursery School, who have a scholarship program for autistic students. So we've helped them put money towards that. Mm-hmm. So each year, potentially, I want to be able to help different groups, but I'm also still growing out here, so I don't know a lot of them. But I encourage anyone who falls within like a special needs support system to reach out to us, and we could potentially support them in one of their goals.
And so the traction piece of it. I mean, this is a business. We started off as we're just gonna mess around and have fun, right? Yeah. It turned into more than that, and here we are. But for your Pennsylvania piece, this 14 years old,
15.
Yeah. When did you see as far as traction goes? When did you get over the hump? Right? Because you build, and then from there's a point where you get to where it's just exponential, right? Yeah. So you're probably not there yet in New York, but if it's similar to a path that Pennsylvania would have taken, then maybe a year or two away from that.
I think potentially. Yeah, I think we're definitely New York. And the Pennsylvania aspect, it's a much smaller area where I grew up. It's not one of those, 100 people where everyone knows your name in 5 seconds, but it's just small enough where I went to school there. I grew up there. I was an athlete there. I worked there for a while, so I was well known.
Let it go. Let it go, Angel. If you got a burp, let it go. Sorry. I saw him doing something wrong. Like, oh.
Fighting for his life.
Sorry. Sorry, go ahead.
That's okay. So that was a different aspect for me because I knew a lot of people from either professionally or school and everything. So it was easier to garner attention. I mean, it did definitely take a couple of years before we saw more of a stronger impact because it got out to more of the counties and surrounding counties. But I was able to also take that setup I had with Pennsylvania and kind of evolve it into New York. So that's one of New York's advantages that I already had it going. Right. I was doing, and I approached Gary at Beagle Sports Bowl, and I said, "Hey, this is what I'm going to do," and he was all for it. And I said, "Well, here's what I've done in the past, but it's also your business. So if you have a different way you want to do it," he's like, "However you want to do it, we'll do it." So I've just kept a similar format, and I just make different tweaks each year and try different things out, and just see what else we can do to make it better and make it more expansive. And so now I call it my Central New York branch.
Sure.
Because I'm trying to get our region involved.
And so has he been the owner for a long time?
Yeah, I think so. He's been there. I know it's been under 10 years, but he's been there for several years.
Well, I went to school in Baldwinsville.
Oh, yeah.
They were big sponsors of other things when I was going to high school. I mean, it was longer than 10 years ago. Don't judge me. But I know they've been around for a long time, so they've definitely helped with other things decades, right?
Angels are being now, like the baker.
Yep.
So.
Angel, how do you help out with the organization?
I just kind of like help out where I can. Like, I sometimes make some of the flyers or like posts like for the like certain
Events?
like
Yeah.
promos.
You do digital stuff, or are you doing social media piece?
I do like some like images.
Yeah. Sometimes she'll like add images for me, and then we'll incorporate that as like a poster, and I'll post it on the social media to.
You help out with like setting up things and running errands.
Yeah.
I mean, the most direct answer to this one is he does whatever mom tells him to.
101.
Why isn't the guy ask his mom to tell him? Like,
You're told.
no, yeah.
You're an adult here. Just say what you want.
I go around with her, hand out flyers and stuff for the event when it gets closer. I don't really know.
Yeah.
Yeah, whatever's needed, right? I mean, there's probably no dedicated sort of this is what you're going to do. It's this is what you're going to do.
When you work on the at volunteer organizations, anyone who volunteers a little bit is helpful. Because like I've helped out.
And it's good experience, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm part of a nonprofit, and anytime we can get help with any events, even something like someone helping us set all the chairs up, you know what I mean? It's helpful because it's that much time we don't have to concentrate on that and work on something else.
Kudos to like my family back home. Like when I was doing it from living in Pennsylvania, I had that hassle organized because I was getting all the rifles and all this stuff together. Well, now since I live up here and I'm doing it for both, my mom and my brother actually do all the flyers down there. I do the main aspects. I got the letters to her. She prints them and sends them out for me. But up here, my family is so patient with me.
Yeah.
Because as my husband can attest, and Angel now living with us, the big living room gets to be very disorganized and a lot going on because now I'm trying to reorganize things and figure out from the last event what's going on where, what needs to be booked. So there's just things all over. And I know that for those first couple months of the year, I'm just a ball of everything else trying to figure it out. So I definitely appreciate them, and they deal with a lot from me for that, but they know why I do it. So
Do you guys have pets?
not currently, but I can't wait to get one.
Well, I know. So I could just remind me of a video I saw. Someone setting something up. They spend all this time doing it. I have a small dog, so I put things on a table and it's fine. Like you don't have a small dog like that.
Yeah, but my dog sometimes.
Yeah, because you rule iron fist. That's why I'm so in line
I'm a
with this
good trainer.
podcast. But my dog. So other people, when I saw this video, that someone spent a lot of time setting this stuff up, and then a dog just came through and like they jump on a table, their tails wagging, there's papers everywhere.
Yeah.
Oh, I couldn't imagine setting something up like this and then having just kind of and you can't get mad at the end, right? But happy to see like they're excited and then the tails wagging and just things go everywhere. And I couldn't imagine that. But like I said, I could put things up high because he can only probably jump this high. So if I'm on a table, I'm good, right? Not me personally.
Yeah, I grew up with labs. Well,
Oh, right.
So I'd have the table, but I mean they're tall.
High, yeah, and high energy, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I got a lazy one. That guy on the right up there is my dog.
Maybe I'm reflecting.
Yeah, I don't know if you can see it, but he's a little hungry mix, but he's a little 25-pound guy that you give him like a meatball and he's that's like a huge Thanksgiving meal. Like
What kind of pet would you get?
I would love to get a Labrador pit bull again. I always grew up with labs, but I've also worked with a lot of pit bulls and my family's had one, so I really like them. But I also love huskies. I love like old dogs.
Huskies are so vocal.
Yeah.
Sounds they make.
like French bulldogs do the same thing, right?
They're so dramatic.
Yeah. I saw a video of this guy. His husky always climbs on the door. I don't know if it's AI fake, but it looks real to me.
What do you mean climbs on the door?
Like he would climb on the door and howl.
What door?
Like a door, like a house, like a door.
He can climb up on
like
the
a
top
cat.
door?
Yeah. And howl.
There is
Probably AI.
It's got to be. I mean, I'm just trying to figure out like me versus like
You're not gonna hang on the door. You barely even open.
challenge accepted. Challenge accepted. After this, I'm hanging on the door.
that is good now because the challenge accepts things too.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, so we talk a lot about pets and we support all these things and we appreciate what you're doing and
I wouldn't be able to own my animals. So, I mean, I love dogs too. I have them, but I also love penguins. And unfortunately, I'm not an animal that much.
Someone else on your love penguins was
One of my friends' wife loves penguins. They have little penguin statues or whatever, like all over the house. And have you been to Boston?
Not yet, but that's one of the places I want to check out soon.
Boston Aquarium, when you first walk in, the entire ground floor is for penguins.
Hear that, Chuck? We're going.
they might have one here, right? When it's aquarium opens up in Syracuse.
I don't know. I mean,
That's a big building.
they're doing saltwater and freshwater aquarium over here. Taking that
I
wrong.
have some at the zoo, so I get to see those ones. And whenever we go to the zoo, my husband's like, all right, we'll see you in an hour, maybe longer. So it's going to be the penguins.
Do you like them because they're like their color, or is it how they walk?
I like all their little quirks, I guess.
Let me guess, your favorite movie is Happy Feet.
One of my aunt who lives in Maine currently, she actually kind of started off my kick with that, where I don't even know if I'd like mentioned something about them or something that I liked, but she started sending me in the mail like stickers and a puzzle of my first animal with it. And it was just all penguin stuff. And I'm like, oh, cool. Like a collection started. And then I bought my very first penguin for 50 cents at a flea market. And not a real penguin.
Not real.
But I named him Squeak because it pressed his little.
It probably hurt him. It's like, that's him swearing.
Sometimes I'll pull up like Instagram and I start to play, turn the sound on. I'll say anything to the family and I'll just play this noise. And they'll look at me like, but sometimes you can't tell if it's that or a husky because some of their whines are so.
Does your brother like penguins?
I don't think it's fine.
Because
He
like
likes-
bowling pins are shaped like penguins.
Yeah.
Pay a whole bunch of
I know it's artsy. We can start painting them full
right.
This was like
Then you'll never hit them. Then you won't.
that's true. But on the events, I don't get to bowl anyway, so it kind of works out.
Yeah.
That's
Go on for that, right?
Yeah.
You don't like penguins?
I just
She likes to bust me for.
yeah.
What was it? We're gonna go penguin hunting or something?
Yeah. Don't find for dinner tonight.
Oh, can you eat penguins?
Can you?
Did you look that up once?
I think I did.
You
You
can
did it just to like you pick in the ass, but
Tastes like chicken.
I mean, it's meat, right?
I don't know. You don't eat coyote, right? That's meat.
I think you read
You
something
can,
like
that's
it's like
easy.
legal, right?
Yeah, it's illegal to own a penguin.
But you had one for 50 cents.
Well, it was a stuffed animal.
Oh.
She bought a real penguin.
I was hoping. I don't know. Look,
I would have brought that thing in the studio. I could have.
that'd be great. That'd be great.
The weirdest animals on the studio.
We can do it.
Yeah.
Probably fine.
Can we fit a giraffe in here? Oh, I gotta.
I might need to bend its neck.
Yeah.
Where do you put a giraffe's bow tie? Under his neck or where his chest is?
Where his chest is.
It's got to be right there. Yeah, right. Otherwise, this is like some sort of weird kink.
No, but that's where we put our bow tie.
But our chest is also right here. I mean, it's the same spot.
Right, so on the giraffe, where do you put it? Under his chin or where do you put it?
No, I mean, it's got to be like right above his chest.
Well, that's the giraffe. There's a place you can go pet a giraffe.
I'd pet a giraffe.
Yeah,
Where's that?
there's
That's north of here?
Wild Center.
That was at the Wild Park in Chenango.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yes.
Okay.
We've done when we went up and like you have to go up to like second or third floor because giraffes are tall.
They are?
And yeah, you can pet a giraffe. It's so weird, like, but it's such a cool experience.
What do they eat? Like you give carrots or something?
Carrots, leaves, lettuce,
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah. They're herbivores. They don't eat meat.
No,
As far as I knew, they were herbivores, but
maybe cereal.
That's the catch a bird, like, because they're not been down here to get it, right?
They'll probably eat cereal with beer.
so Cocoa Bus.
What type of giraffe?
They don't have on the battlefield, but hey.
Yeah.
A drunk giraffe, you would have a hard time balancing.
2 or 3 years ago, my husband actually took me to the wild to meet penguins. Fortunately, I could not touch the penguins because they are special species, or they're
Endangered.
endangered. Yeah, thank you. I was using the wrong word. But that is the absolute closest I've ever been to a penguin. It was an unbelievable experience, and they even let me walk away with the other things where they had the penguins walk across like the painting. They actually did one for me. I still
Oh,
have it.
nice.
Yeah.
That's Boston Aquarium, you're pretty close. You can't touch them, but you're pretty close to them.
Yeah. and I got to feed them and stuff. So it
Nice.
was an awesome birthday
Are they
present.
are they violent? Like they'll bite you or snip at you? Or like I mean, are they? Why can't you
No,
touch you?
I think
They'll
they're
probably
just-
bite you because you're an asshole.
No, because, no, because they like.
I think because the endangered thing, they're just concerned with, like, I don't know if it's, like a bacteria thing or different.
No, yeah, I mean, I know.
Even though you wash your hands and stuff, but I mean, I don't know. I think it's just something to do with, like, not giving them too much of the outside, whatever that could.
I mean, I get like you don't want to zoo get to touch animals, but I just didn't realize penguins don't like to be touched or can't be touched.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna be a penguin. Quit fucking touch me. Sorry.
You basically took away the entire ride. I had no idea where we were going. I was like basically blindfolded until we got there. Like, what did you do? And then I'll go over there and I'm like, for the penguins. So it was awesome.
It's a pretty nice experience there. I did giraffes and sloth. And by the way, sloths are faster than I thought.
But they stink, right?
Oh, they stink.
Yeah.
But there was one sloth that was doing zoomies around the room.
Yeah, but now he's done for a year, right? It's all energy.
Yeah.
He's
I
done.
got to do one of the close-ups with an elephant at the zoo.
Nice.
So,
They like jelly beans.
really?
They do.
Like, they eat jelly beans. Yeah.
What flavor?
Yeah, how about that game you play when it's like you could? What's that? We just talked about it in the game.
Yeah, they gave me jelly beans to feed them and marshmallows.
But there's that one game where you can play where there's like jelly beans and there's like two things and like you get green one. It tastes like mint or like grass.
Bean boozled.
Yeah, yeah. See, he knows.
I didn't play that game.
I didn't say you played it. I said someone talked about it.
Oh.
Listen to my words.
Remember my memory?
Linda, listen to me speak. Yeah, so
Oh, yeah, I went through many.
yeah, that's right. One is too many.
Or maybe it was something else.
Yeah, that's just, we mess around, but this is obviously a serious topic for it, and we appreciate that you're doing it. And I don't know, I'm not aware of anybody else that's doing something like this, right? In our area.
Not in that regard. Like I know different organizations that, like you have the ARC and you have state agencies and Liberty Resources, things like that offer services, but I don't think
Especially support and fundraisers and things like that.
Yeah,
Right.
because they do stuff more for like their own to give back to their groups, but I don't think there's anyone in the sense of like my type of.
Mm-hmm. And when you're saying ARC, those are the people that help with sort of job establishment and sort of long term financial commitments.
Yeah.
For the people that are helping.
And like I actually had this question recently, so it's interesting we kind of touched base on it. They were asking me if like, well, where would you recommend for resources? And I'm like, I'm not someone that has direct resources. Like I've worked in the field. I can name places to try to go to, but with Bowling for Autism, we're more like a monetary backer to support those programs going further to help them out. So I'm kind of like
You're like a prequel.
yeah, right. Kind of. And over the last couple of years, I started changing it where it was, okay, what's like a goal you want to focus on? So this one, they're expanding on their ADA services and they're going to eventually do it indoor rings so they can still have visitors during the cold weather. They're focusing on trying to find another trainer and a trainer to help them with their board, but it's all to their programs. And some of their money they use to help offset, because they don't want to turn people away, but they use it to offset some of the costs of actually attending. So it lets people who are, struggling with income or anything like that to still be able to participate and they're covered.
Yeah.
So it's each group has like what's a goal you have in mind, and we go from there. Like one group, they're summer camp and they do swimming once a week for the whole month of July. They go throughout. One time we did like changing rooms for them, so the kids had a private place to go and not just them go and buy a treat. So it's specific to those programs, but it's more I'm providing funds to them to be able to expand.
Sure. Yeah.
But I could definitely, by name, I could be like, oh, I know this one and this one because I've dealt with them in one way or the other of my life. But I'm just more a funding part.
Yep.
What's a big challenge with nonprofits when you try to run it? Is there like the biggest challenge?
For me personally, I'd say a lot to do with trying to get the word and responses out. I can send close to 100 or more. Like I'm thinking of anybody I can think of, especially in like here being a bigger area. And sometimes you just don't get not much back, or you get a little bit, and then it's when you go out person to person that you get more response. So it can be tough to just like get that word and get people to want to support something, especially if they never heard of it. And I was blown away the first year with the Air Bridge because I was not expecting the type of response that we did get because I was brand new. I mean, we had people like Syracuse Mets and the zoo, like all these people came out, and it was a pretty good turnout for a first run, and it's still growing. But I was just like, holy crap! Like no one's heard of this before. This is brand new to them, and now it's just will it keep expanding. But it is definitely tougher to get more of the actual responses and like some of the businesses to actually get to in person. They're at the same hours that I'm working, so I'm trying to do that in between, and it's sometimes hard. So sometimes I have to correspond by, hey, I'll call you when I can, or hopefully I can meet you somewhere, or catch you on a weekend somehow. But
Response is one of our biggest pet peeves. It's like, even if you don't want to do it, just say no. Just respond and say no.
Because I hate following up
Not interested.
because I didn't hear from you. Like, did you get it? Or do you not want to do it? Because if you don't want to, I'll quit following up. But it takes our time. It takes their time to read it. Just respond back. Like, not interested. And I'll never contact you again. I'm cool with that.
Yeah.
Same rule, right?
I actually started doing that on the Pennsylvania side because I've done it long enough now where I know, like, okay, these people come every year, so they'll send a response to them. These ones, maybe, so we'll try them. But I've actually been able to narrow down certain ones I know, like, they're just not doing anything. It's been how many years, so just... But then with 15, I was like, let me just try to bring it to everyone I can because maybe they'll consider something else because it's a milestone here. But and it's not just like wanting to get the sponsorships because the more of those we help with the recipient, but it's also getting enough people to actually come out and attend the events. And now I started doing these mini fundraisers to kind of help us raise funds and be known throughout the year too. We actually have Panera Bread coming up. We did one in December as well. But on March 27th, we have a Panera night. They can either use the code on our Facebook or show a flyer, and a percentage of discounts from like 4 to 8 go towards One for Autism. And then Bill Boys is actually going to do one on April 4th, where a percentage of all sales that day is going to go back to Village for Autism. We've also worked with Sal's Pizza in the past. I want to do another one with them.
He's a big supporter of a lot of things.
It's Doughboy's also a pizza cafe.
Yeah. And there's a couple others that I do things that I want to reach out to and like just have, even if it's one a month, just have like these many things, keep it in line. And I also want to add an additional event next year to celebrate our 50-year milestone. So I'll do the main event in April for Autism Awareness Month. And then potentially have like something in the summer where we could do a big community thing or something to celebrate it. But I don't know, maybe that's something we can discuss down the line and she doesn't help us with.
Yeah, we'll discuss.
Yeah, let us know ahead of time.
But for now, I want to just read this flyer. It's our 4th annual CNY event, Saturday, April 25th, in Beagle Sports Bowl, 45 East Genesee Street in Baldwinsville, New York. Starts at 1 p.m. until 5 p.m. The event is free, but those interested in bowling will be charged $25, which includes 2 hours of bowling, shoes, and a $5 food voucher. And raffles for $5 on arm length. Can we give a shout out to your husband's band?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Sure.
The Guy Young Band. So do they play at your events?
Yeah.
Does he charge you a lot?
No, he doesn't at all.
We need that deal.
I didn't have to ask him. It was really sweet. So we met back in 2019, and he knew it was important to me and got close to my brother and everything. And the kids got to know Sean. And Chuck's like, wait a minute, you know that I play. Like, why don't I ask the band if they want to be part of this? And they've been at every event for both PA and New York ever since.
Perfect.
So it's been awesome, and I'm grateful to him. And so, yes, great to have the Guy on band back again. And I forgot to put up a flyer, but we also have SAS Imagery and Media LLC. They're down in Pennsylvania. They're actually donating their time to do photos at the events as well.
Oh, for this one here?
For both of them, yeah.
Yeah, perfect. Yeah.
So is the band from New York or from Pennsylvania?
The band's from New York. They're different sections of central New York.
Yeah, so SAS is in Pennsylvania, but they're doing both.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Anything else you want to fill in before we wrap it up? We'll put all this information in the description of this episode, so they'll be able to find it. You have social media, Instagram, Facebook, right?
Yeah, we have Facebook and Instagram.
Okay, and we'll put that in there as well. Anything else you want to add?
Well, if you want to mention your Facebook and Instagram,
Yeah. So our Facebook page is facebook.com/bowling for autism. It has our cover photo is the two state logo. It has Pennsylvania and New York on each side. I say that because there was one year where someone tried to highlight our page and it showed up some like random thing that wasn't actually our page. Um, and then I just want to thank all of the sponsors and donors for our raffle that have come so far. It's amazing because without community, we couldn't do any of this because that's a big part of giving back, and community helps community. But at the same time, I feel like it gives them more attention, so business drives to them as well. So I appreciate everyone who's sponsored so far. There's still time to become a sponsor this year, and still time to donate raffles. I want to thank the band for coming out again, our photographers for coming, the Gable Sports Bowl for being our host for New York. They've been very gracious this whole time. And just, I'm excited to help Ray Hope Farm, and hopefully we keep on growing. Just a reminder of our Panera fundraiser on March 27th. It's from 4 to 8. You do in-person, online, using the code on that. Information is also on our Facebook page. And we have Doughboys coming up in 4th, which we'll put advertising up for soon. But just keep an eye out, give us a follow, and anything I missed.
The Guy Young band also just made a new Instagram page, and they have a Facebook also.
Yeah, and that's a good point. We should go follow the band. They play classic rock music and sell that stuff for a lot of things that a lot of people appreciate, and older stuff, modern day stuff, and just feel good music. And I want to thank our guys at BrewsNBanter for having us.
Of course. Thank you for coming out. We would like to be part of the community and pay back. And let us know in the future we have stuff coming up.
Yeah.
Thank you, Gal.
Sounds good.
Thank you, Angel.
Thank you.
We just want to say quick thank you to our sponsors, Apex Property Management and FM Realty Group, for all your real estate needs and commercial and residential. Also, thank you to Eastwood Brewing Company. Thank you for sponsoring this episode as well. And of course, as always, thank you to all of our followers. You can support this podcast by going to BrewsNBanter.store.com and buy our merch. Anything helps out to keep this going, and we appreciate you. So thank you to all the listeners, Instagram followers,
and hopped up
and Hopped Up Network.
as well.
Oh, I always forget.
Yeah, it's because you're alone.
I just realized
It's my memory.
insurance.
Thank you, everybody.
All right, thank you.
Bye-bye.
Head to Safeway this week and enjoy these amazing click or clip deals from the weekly mailer, or download them from the Safeway app to breeze through checkout. Signature Select pork spare ribs available in the meat department for just $2.99 per pound. Limit 2 packages. Lucerne shredded, sliced, or chunk cheese, 6 to 8 ounce selected varieties, just $1.99 each. Limit 4 items. And Lucerne cage-free eggs, 18 count, large grade AA, just $2.99 each. Limit 2 items. See you in the aisles.